Hello everybody and welcome to my first thoughts and opinions, raw reaction straight away from watching King Boxer, aka Five Fingers of Death from the glorious Vol.1 Shaw Brothers box set. Basically this is a good opportunity for me to do a on-screen kind of reaction, kind of thoughts and opinions, raw thoughts and opinions from just watching it, and do this a little bit faster than I usually would, being that there's so many movies on this box set alone. But I will be doing a video per disc, per film, and then going final thoughts and opinions and giving them a bit of a ranking towards a final video towards later on. So I hope that makes sense, I hope it works, I hope it's not too distracting. King Boxer was released in 1972, directed by Chung, which I think is the first directed film I've seen of him from Hong Kong cinema. I don't think any of his other releases have got like 5-star premium releases or any. Straight away, I want to say, hot dog, hot damn, this film was fantastic. I really enjoyed this film. This is a very good introduction to the box set. Never seen King Boxer, never heard about it really before, apart from maybe the iconic kind of poster and kind of the glowing red hands. That's pretty much I know about it. I recognise the main leading actor, which has been in loads of movies. I think he's also been in a few Jimmy Wan-Yu movies as well. I think he played the villain in a few films. But this was a really good first introduction, first disc into the box set, slam dunk. I love it when you go into a film and you don't know what you kind of expect, and you think, okay, it's going to be like this, or it's going to go this way, or it's going to be a little bit predictable in some areas, kind of thing. This was the same experience I had with Two Warriors from the Eureka release recently, Sammo Hong movie, and King Boxer follows that same kind of like style. Very classic kind of themes, good versus evil. The bad guys wearing black and the good guys wearing white. You've got love interest, you've got rivalries, you've got betrayals kind of thing, you've got over-the-top bad guys, you've got Japanese villains in this film, you've got hidden kind of martial arts experts that are coming into the play. There's a lot going on in this film, but under the kind of the traditional kind of format from a traditional Shaw Brothers movie, in terms of a character that needs to become better, he needs to learn a tactic. I think it was the iron palm technique he learns in the film, which basically gets his hand really glowing red, which had that classic kind of Kill Bill music, or should I say King Boxer music now, like fantastic. I love how the representation of that in terms of that kind of fight, it's fantastic. It's got a lot of traditional type of window dressing in that sense. You think what the film is going to be, you think it's going to go exactly, and kind of the routine in terms of love interest, in terms of villains, in terms of the clans and the evil bad guys and all that type of stuff. And that's what I kind of love to see and love to watch. But I also love to see originality, something a bit different, something that makes it unique and something worth coming back to and re-exploring compared to the other players in that same, because there's so many movies from Shaw Brothers and not all of them is going to stand out. It succeeds my expectations on so many different levels. This film is a beast of a story and it has so much going on. Even when it's kind of like having its downtime, having a bit of slower in places, it's got so much to offer. And for a viewer, not only has it got really fantastic characterization from a main leading character, which I think has a fantastic journey from start to finish. I love how it starts, I love how it ends. I'm not going to say too much in terms of spoilers there, but I love his journey. I love how every character is very relatable and they're very kind of grounded and honest and just kind of showing their kind of who they are, whether they're good or bad guys kind of thing, right under the sleeve kind of thing. He feels very underwhelmed, he feels very kind of, I have to do this for my master kind of thing, who is, who took me in, I want to marry this woman that I love, but he wants me to do this challenge, he wants me to do this tournament, which is the kind of third act of the film, all building up to. You got classic, different clan rivalries kind of thing, they're going against each other, one wants to be the best, and they're both like, well, the bad guys are basically kind of hiring outside help and doing sleazy type of tactics and, taunts and all that type of stuff to kind of take on the rival clan and to stop them from going to the competition because they want to be number one. It's always about being number one of your clan, that kind of honor and respect, that kind of stuff. So I absolutely love it when these films kind of do deep dive. Very similar to kind of, Chinese Boxer and the One-Armed Boxer as well. One-Armed Boxer in this came out the same year, which is interesting because I think he played a villain in one of the other movies, I'm not too sure which one. But this feels like a more grounded, more realistic take on the Chinese Boxer, because there's a lot of similar sequences in the film, in terms of kind of the palm technique, the hand-fisted palm. Jimmy Wan-Yu movie, basically a Terminator, an invincible person that goes in that third act of the film and wipes the floor with everybody. It's pretty glorious, but it does lack characterization, there's like an interesting kind of, a character motivation going for. That film is way more focused on the bad guys, and Jimmy Wan Yu's character is very, very sidelined until the third act, where he becomes basically an invincible stopping machine. And, there's a bit of a disconnect kind of thing. It doesn't feel earned. Nothing feels really earned in that film. Well, this film, nothing feels cheap. Every emotional angle in the film, in terms of just character deaths, betrayals, surprises, in terms of, honorable people that are just trying to do the right thing or do the wrong thing, and, get caught up in the kind of the drama of it. It feels very nice, and I like it a lot. And this feels like my type of Hong Kong movie, a movie that can take its time, can have a little bit slower in places, but deliver harder on those extra fight sequences, on the betrayals, on the kind of, the love story interest, and just deliver a lot more. Every character in this film feels very genuine, very honest, and I really liked every single one. I think everyone was very memorable. I love the kind of internal betrayals involved kind of thing, from both clans kind of thing. I think that's quite interesting. There's some nice surprises during the kind of the second and third act. One of the best lines in the film from the bad guy, just, I want you to experience the treachery of martial arts. Brilliant. I love it. I love it when you get classic kind of bad guy kind of, lines. And the fact that the character's doing cocaine for the entire goddamn movie, he's pulling on his little hand, he's powdering on his hand, and he's like sniffing it up. Almost every single scene in that character, he's doing drugs. The entire third act of this film, absolutely fantastic. Some stuff I really was not expecting, especially with the kind of the treachery character that kind of goes into the other clan, and then there's a character in that kind of, but it feels very genuine, it feels very honest, it feels like a natural kind of like, wow, one scene had to lead to another to kind of a character to realize this, or characters redeeming the end of their ways. There's some surprising deaths in the film, there's some surprising treacheries in the film, but it all works very well. And by the end, it's kind of tragic a little bit what happens towards the end of the film, and the kind of the resolution to the film. It's a little bit sad, but it all leads to kind of this greater kind of like social commentary about, can't we all just get along? Well, at least I like to think that anyway. All these clans, all these kind of different rivalry groups going back and forth, trying to like win against each other, trying to one up against each other. And by the end, it doesn't end well for either one. And overall, King Boxer delivers big time. A fantastic first disc, first entry into the Shawscope Vol.1 box set. Really enjoyed the share of this film. I thought it was really fun. Fantastic main leading actor that has a really great journey from start to finish. Really love the ending to this film. Also, a fantastic bonkers kind of third act that really kind of nails in kind of a lot of the themes and a lot of the ideas that the film's been building up to that point. A great sense of characterization. All these characters on screen are very memorable, very likable. They have a lot of interesting kind of journeys in their story. Surprising deaths. Some fantastic kind of fight sequences that's well earned, some great emotional kind of ties to our kind of main characters. Nothing feels cheap, nothing feels unearned in this film. Everything feels very genuine. This to me feels like a better version, a more grounded take on the Chinese boxer and the kind of some of the Jimmy Wan Yu movies, having that kind of crazy kind of high stake kind of element in terms of Japanese kind of bad guys and kind of crazy kind of expert kind of martial art experts coming in to kind of upset the rivalry in the sense, but delivers in such a well delivered, great sense of location, great sense of kind of scope as well in the film. King Boxer definitely deserves my recommendation, and a great start to this series.